All right, guys, we're going to do a cold calling session here. I just want to bring you guys along so you can see all of the cool things that happen, all the horrible things that happen. You can learn from it. You can see some of the mistakes I make, and we'll talk about the tweaks. You can see some of the great things I do and hopefully implement them. I am going to spin you up real quick on exactly what it is that I'm doing before I get into this call session. I've got 4 things up on my browser, right? I've got the Vortex through RedX up. I've got the MLS up. I've got Constant Contact up, and I've got my email up. Here's the why, right? So why do I have RedX up? Because that's who I'm going to make my cold calls through, right? If you guys don't have RedX and you want RedX, call them up. Let them know that Joe Rosen sent you, and they'll give you the $149 setup fee off. What do you get through RedX? What I highly promote is the $50 a month geo leads. It's amazing, man. It's 2,000 homes, not numbers, which gives you 4,000 or 5,000-ish phone numbers every single month. I don't call anywhere near 4,000 or 5,000 phone numbers a month, so that is more than enough. People ask me all the time, should I get that and expireds? You can, but honestly, I did it, and I couldn't keep up with the geo leads, so I never called the expireds. I didn't have time. So for me, the geo leads were enough. $50 times 12, that's $600. I don't know why you would spend any more. Like, that's a great deal, man. If you want the dialer, cool. The dialer, I think that I would go with the single dialer. Right now I have the triple dialer. The positive with the triple dialer is it's fast, but the negative I'm finding is that sometimes when I've made enough calls in the day, my phone number will show up as scam likely or as possible scam, something like that. So I've got my wife actually calling AT&T to see if we can fix that. But through the research I've done, I don't know how likely that is, right? So I'm going to try this for the rest of February. I'm going to see what my wife says from AT&T if we can get that removed. But I'm probably going to try a single dialer for March and April, and I'm going to test those conversion numbers versus the January, February numbers to see which I like better, the single or the triple dialer. So that's RedX. The MLS, why do I have the MLS up? I'm going to go to the neighborhood that I know I'm calling in, and I'm going to find all of the sold homes in the last 30 days, right? That makes my cold call a warm call because my pitch is, hey, I just want to call and let you know that there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold in the last however long it was since it sold, and I want to see if there's anything I could do for you, right? Well, I want to be honest, so I'm going to have homes up in their neighborhood that did actually recently sell, right? So that's the whole purpose. Not to mention the fact that sometimes they ask questions, right? A lot of times you'll get, I'm not interested. Okay, cool, sounds good. Well, wait. There's a lot next to me. It's for sale. How much is it going for? And that sparks a question, right? So if I've got, or that sparks a conversation. If I've got the MLS open, I can answer a lot of those questions. Constant Contact, why do I have that open? For those of you that aren't using Constant Contact, that's the long game for me, right? The short game is RedX. I might get some appointments, or maybe it's a maybe, and then, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days down the road, it turns into a yes. I consider that the short game. The long game is Constant Contact. I can only make so many calls a day, right? I might make 100, 200, 300 calls a day, but I can't make 10,000 calls in a day. I just can't. But I can email 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people through Constant Contact every single week, and I can market myself and stay in front of them, right? So does Constant Contact, in my opinion, work well for the first 12 months? Probably not, right? I'm only, like right now, I've been down here for, this is week 29 in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And I would say that I'm probably up to about 600-700 people on my Constant Contact list. I can call that amount of people in 2, 3, 4 days. So that's not a huge benefit to me, but I have to start now so that in 5, 10 years when I do get up to 10,000 people, I've got that leveraged time every single week, right? So while I'm doing all the things, I'm showing houses, I'm going to listing appointments, I'm working on documents and following up on transactions. All I got to do is hit the go button and 10,000 people get that email. And that is not going to happen unless I start it today. So I do a weekly email. I got that from Ricky Kruth, my buddy Ricky. If you guys have not seen his weekly email and it's something you're intrigued about, let me know. DM me or something. Put a comment down there with your email, and I can shoot you the YouTube video. He spends 90 minutes going through exactly how to set up a weekly email. It's awesome. And it's exactly what I do. If you guys want to see what my weekly email looks like, again, just DM me or whatever and let me know what your email address is, and I'll throw you on it and you'll see it every single Wednesday. You can copy it. I don't give a damn. So that's what Constant Contact's for, right? So as I get people's email addresses, if you get the appointment, great. If you don't get the appointment, then the secondary is, okay, cool. Do you mind if I stay in contact with you between now and whenever you do decide to do something? Oh, that sounds good. Okay, what's a good email? And then you take that email down and you put it in Constant Contact, and now you've got them forever, right? Why do I have my email open? I have my email open because I always say, hey, I tell you what, would it be all right if I sent you a thank you email, and in that email will have all my information. So if you ever do want to do something down the road, you can just reach out to me that way. And a lot of time that opens up the ability to get the email. And then I send them a nice little thank you email. You know, if I get one today, you'll see me do it. And then I add them to Constant Contact, and then I get back into the Vortex through RedX, and I get back going, right? So that's my whole process. That's my setup. I've got my paper here. I've got my pen. I track how many conversations I have. For me, a conversation, and it doesn't matter how you define a conversation, right? It just matters that you track your numbers and you move forward. Just move forward. Just do it. Don't let those things slow you down. For me to define a conversation, it's a little gray, but it's pretty black and white. I have to spit out, hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. And they have to actually be in the area and own a piece of property. If they say, hey, this is the wrong number, I live in Boston and I don't even know what Port St. Lucie is, I don't count that. If they live in Boston and they do own a piece of property here, but they told me to get lost, that counts because I just marketed myself. And right now, there is no other realtor more top of mind than me for at least the next 7 seconds, right? So I count that because that counts. I need to get, I'm not going to go through the whole point system right now, but I need to get 5 points a day. If I don't have any points from any other listings or pending deals or, you know, whatever, that means I have to get 10 conversations in because a conversation is a half a point. So 10 times a half is 5 points. That's what I got to get every day. I also have to get 65 calls because my annual goal is 20,000 calls. When I divide the 20,000 out by the 312 days that I plan on working this year, it comes up to 64 point something. So I just say I got to get at least 65 calls in every single day. So that's it. Paper, pen, water, go, right? So now I've given you the background and everything. Let's do it. By the way, if somebody picks up and gives me their personal information, I'm going to edit that out. That's the only thing I'm editing out.
Hello. Please leave a message.
So if somebody cusses me out, which happened yesterday, I'll leave that in for you guys. A little entertaining humor.
Sorry I missed your call. Please.
You can see the dialer's fast. If you guys have ever made these calls by yourself with your finger, this is so fast.
Thank you for calling. I'm unable to take your call at this time.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
We'll leave a voicemail here.
30533681116 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. I'm calling because I see you're on Algiers Street, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold a week and a half ago. I'm just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. Boom. Next.
The ABC telephone number you have.
People ask me all the time, what percentage of numbers are wrong numbers? It differs. If you go to certain subdivisions, it's a really low percentage. If you go to other areas, it's a really high percentage. So it really depends upon where you're calling. But if you've got the dialer, it's whipping through the numbers so fast, it honestly, to me, doesn't matter. I do find that RedX has the best data, in my opinion. So it's calling 3 numbers at once. I can see all the numbers. When somebody picks up, it gives me their info. I'll tell you what it is once. Okay, I'll tell you what it is right here. So like on this one, right? It tells me this gal's first name and last name, and then it gives me, It gives you, I think, up to 4 numbers. I've got 3 right here. I can see that I already called the other 2. I got no answer on one. I left a voicemail on the other. It tells me the address of the property, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many square feet, the year it was built, the lot size. Yeah, that's what it tells me. So it's a pretty cool little system, man. It gives you a lot of information, and you get it now. If the bedrooms, bathrooms, all that stuff say 0000 or it's not filled in, it's almost always a vacant lot that they own. So then that's a different conversation, right? So once you get used to this, you really can tell a lot about the people that you're talking about. Also, if I see it's a vacant lot and the local area code is 772, right? If I see a New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Pennsylvania, those are the big states we get people down here from, area code, I know there's a good chance they live up in that area. So I need to kind of tweak what I'm saying. Hey, Joe Rosen with Port St. Lucie. If they're like, wait, where? I can be like, yeah, you've got a lot down here. Oh, yeah, Port St. Lucie, right? So it's great data, but it takes a little bit of time of getting used to as far as how do you tweak that conversation to best meld with those people, right?
Please leave your message for
Okay.
50230311701.
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. And I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Gambury Street. And there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold, let's see, it was about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there was anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. And the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. So this is a good thing to bring up too, right? You get a lot of people who don't pick up. They see the missed call and then they call you right back while you're in the middle of talking. Just be cognizant of that. So I haven't done this yet, but what I want to look into doing, I don't even know if you can do it, is I have the little options, right? Like, can I call you later? Or I'm busy right now, or whatever the auto options are. I want a better, and I haven't thought what the verbiage will be, but a better text that says, hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. I'm on the other line. Would you like me to call you back shortly? Something like that, right? So at least I can brand myself. I just haven't gone in to see if you can do that. But if you can do that, that's the plan, man. In fact, I'm going to write that down right now. Personalized return text. That'll make sense to me later. All right, let's keep going. Boom.
You have reached the voicemail box of 772-087-7784.
We haven't got
At the tone,
any good
please
conversations
record your
yet.
voice
I need
message.
10.
When you are finished recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, Kathy, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Gambury Street, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it, and have a great Thursday. Boop. All right. RedX gives you little motivational quotes on the screen. Today's quote is by Mario Andretti, world champion racing legend. Here it is. If everything is under control, you're going too slow. Hey, Norma.
This is Debbie.
Oh, Debbie. Hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. How you doing? Good. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Neal Road, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with.
No, thank you.
Okay. If you were to do something down the road, is there a realtor you'd use?
What?
If you were to do something in real estate, is there a realtor that you would use? All right, we got hung up on. Okay, so there, it was the, what's up, you need me?
I have a question.
Yeah,
So I'm replying to Walker Law
yeah.
about the LLC. He has somewhere to put like mailing address.
Yeah.
But then below that he says where you want to receive notices.
Yeah.
Do you want both of those to be our home address?
Yeah.
Or just okay.
Okay.
And then it says it'll be public record.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so the person picked up it was the wrong person, right? Sometimes, and this is all quick thoughts, right? So you're going to make the right decision sometimes you won't. But I've turned a lot of wrong numbers into email addresses or appointments. So don't give up. You got nothing to lose, right? The worst that's going to happen is you're going to get hung up on, and I lost 8 seconds. It's not a big deal. So I said, hey, Norma. She said, this is Debbie or whoever it was. I can't remember. And I just kept going with it. Okay, cool. I see you're on Southwest Neil Road and blah, blah, blah. And I got hung up on. Cool. It doesn't matter. Just keep going, right? But because I was able to brand myself to somebody, that is a conversation for me. They know Joe Rosen with Keller Williams is out calling today, and that carries value even if I get hung up on.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Keep going. We're at 12 calls.
Hello?
Hey, Christine.
No, you have a wrong number.
Oh, I apologize. I was actually looking for the owner of 2231 Avalon Circle.
Yeah, I don't own that home.
Okay. Well, are you in Port St. Lucie?
No.
Okay. Well, I apologize. Sorry for wasting your time.
That's okay.
All right. Have a good one. Okay, so I don't count that one. But the reason that I asked her if she's in Port St. Lucie is because that'll still... I'll say, okay, cool. Well, I was actually calling because blah, blah, blah. But if you're in Port St. Lucie, let me ask you, is there anything I can help you with? That's where I would have went with that. But she's not in Port St. Lucie, so I let her go. And I don't count that as a conversation because it doesn't matter if I branded to her or not. She's not buying or selling through me.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 772486630 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Kent Circle, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. It is Thursday, right? It's Thursday. Next. All right, we're at 16 calls.
Hello?
Hey, Ralph.
What?
Ralph.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. How you doing?
I gotta tell you something real quick.
Yeah, man.
You're queer, and I really do not like you at all. So please never call my phone again, okay?
That's awesome, man. Yeah, if I can ever help, reach out. Otherwise, have a great day, my friend. All right, old Ralph was not excited to hear from me, but that was a conversation. So, Ralph, thanks for the half point. All right. Boop. Next. We're at 19 calls. At least it's entertaining, right?
Hello, this is Ozerites. Please leave your name and number, and I'll try to get back to you.
Nope.
Please leave your message for...
No.
Please leave your message for...
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Savage Boulevard, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great day. So you can also there is a service that RedX provides where you can leave an auto voicemail, right? So when it goes to voicemail, it just pulls that out of your queue of calls that it's calling, and it automatically leaves a voicemail that you've already pre-recorded. The only reason I don't do it is if I'm confident of the name of the person who I'm calling, which on this one I wasn't, but if I am, I will say, hey Bob, hey Tammy, hey Susie, hey whoever, and it just creates a little bit better connection, right? My conversion rate of them calling me back because I've built that connection goes up a little bit. That's why I do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I haven't really measured the numbers, but that's why I don't use that function. But I want you guys to know that that's something that's certainly available.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave. Not available right now. We'll call you back. Thank you.
Okay, we are at 28 calls and we've had 2 conversations.
Thank you for calling Med Easy. Please listen carefully.
Nope.
Your call has been forwarded to an
It's
automatic
tough,
message system.
but really try to stay high energy and positive. It'll impact your conversion rates.
30 is not available. At the tone,
Big time.
please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Crocus Lane, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. If you just saw me do this, it's because I was checking to see if my mute button was on. The other day I made one of these videos for an hour. The whole thing was voiceless. And I was like, son of a gun. Trials and tribulations. All right, no answer, resume. Flying with that dialer, man.
You have reached the voicemail box of 569. At the tone, please
Here's where I
record
know
your
a
voice
name.
message. When you are finished
This is why I
recording,
leave
you may hang
voicemails.
up or press pound for more options.
Hey, Mr. Beck, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Crocus Lane, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. I'm really hoping it's Thursday. I'm pretty sure it is. If you're working so hard you don't know what day it is, it's a good problem.
of 81780.
Resume. We're at 38 calls. High energy. Keep it up.
Has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
A lot of you guys don't like making these calls, and I get it, man. I mean, this isn't the most exciting thing in the world, right? But this is what fills up slowly every single day your funnel. It is, right? While you're sitting there making pretty flyers, and the guy who's not as good as you, not as knowledgeable, not as experienced, is making 100 calls a day, that guy's going to catch up to you and surpass you real quick. So I really push you guys, and if it's not cold calls, it's got to be something, but this is the most efficient way to get in front of the most amount of people in a short amount of time for me. If you find something better, do it. But for me, this is the most efficient thing to do, man. And day to day, you're not really going to see a big change in your business, but over time, it's monumental. And I'll tell you too, a lot of these leads, almost all of them, they don't say, hey, come over and list my house today. It rarely goes in that direction. It's usually, like I got one yesterday. He wants...
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Kroll.
You got a wrong number.
Oh, I apologize. I was looking for the owner of 2269 Salmon Road. This isn't him?
No.
Okay. Are you in Port St. Lucie by chance?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I apologize.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Okay.
All right. We tried. Where was I going? What was my point? What was my point? I don't remember what I was talking about. Let's keep going.
The Magic Jack customer you have called is unavailable to take your call. Please.
This is driving me nuts. What was I going to say?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 2016932.
When I don't know if it's a Mr. or a Mrs.,
Is not
this is
available.
what I say.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
You're not going to
Goodbye.
find out. Dude, what was I talking about? I was super excited to tell you. Now I can't remember what the heck it was. We're talking about prospecting. You got to do it anyway. They're going to get ahead of you. I don't remember. 51 calls. You're going to suck when you start, too.
Please leave your message after the tone. Thank you.
I was a top 2% agent up in Minnesota, and I'd made a ton of calls. I was good at it. Then I got out and got into the Army for 10 years, got back into real estate 29 weeks ago. Now I'm getting pretty smooth. I'm starting to figure out ways to keep the conversation going and everything else. That's not how it was when I started. I sucked when I started. If you go find a video with me and Ricky Carruth of me cold calling, there's one out there on YouTube. There's all kinds of mistakes I made. And I'm still making mistakes, but the mistakes are getting smaller and smaller and fewer and farther between, right? I guess what's the word I'm looking for? The point of what I'm saying, my point is that the only way to get better, the only way to improve is to just keep going and get the reps, right? Just like anything else. I suck at basketball.
You have reached
I
the
just do.
voicemail box of
If I go play basketball for 5
7724.
hours a day for the next year, I'm going to be considerably better at that thing I suck at. It just is what it is. I'll tell you this too. If you're not doing any prospecting, you will not make it in this business. You have to do something. We're at 55.
But we've only had 2 conversations. Hello?
Monday.
Holy smokes. Lindy, you gotta leave that message quicker, baby. You'll find too,
Call has been forwarded to an automated
when
voice
you're making
messaging
these
system.
calls, you'll make little mistakes, right? If you make a mistake and you think, "Ugh, I wish I would have said this," take 30 seconds and write that down, and then just kind of rehearse it, right, while you're driving around or whatever. And you'll find that you improve. And it's not just in your cold calling sessions. It's while you're talking to potential sellers, potential buyers, inspectors, lenders, all of these people. Your communication skills will improve. So many reasons to make cold calls, baby. Just do it. I'm just competitive.
The telephone number you have dialed is no.
My goal is to do 20,000 calls this year. That fires me up, man. When I see this number going up, I'm like, boom, one less, boom, one less, boom, one less. It's just exciting. We're at 61. I got to do 65. We're almost there. But I'm 8 conversations short.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Lee.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, say I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest, and there was a home that had just sold a few blocks down. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with.
A house that's been sold a few blocks down.
Yeah.
Okay. And in what way would you thinking that you could help me?
Well, I guess with anything, I'm a real estate agent, so I've helped people buy homes, sell homes, investment properties. If you want to know what your property's worth, really anything.
Where do you locate it?
I am in Westport, St. Lucie, over by the PGA golf course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing something. We think about scaling back and buying a smaller home.
Okay.
We don't have the money upfront cash, but the cash is inside this house that we own.
Equity. Okay, that makes sense. All right. And then where are you going to stay in the area, or where are you looking at moving to?
No, we staying in the area. We like the area.
I love this area too. I don't blame you. Okay. Well, I tell you what, would it be possible to set up a time? I'll come over, take a look at your property, tell you what it's worth, and we can set up a plan from there?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. When is a good time for you to meet?
I can't tell you today, but I can save the number here and call you back.
Yeah, that's fine. And if you'd like, I will call you back. Give me a good email address, and I'll just shoot you my information so you've got it. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, go ahead. What's a good email?
Oh, you want the email?
Yep.
2 legs, 11.
Perfect. Well, let me ask you this last question. Is it better to call you back, or should I email you and wait to see an email?
Yeah, why your phone kind of dropping low, man? I don't hear you. It's just like it dropped very low.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like me to call you back tomorrow? We can work something out schedule-wise?
Is it my phone going down like that? I don't really hear what you said.
I tell you what, I'm going to call you right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, because we're losing.
Yeah, I'll call you right back. Okay, I just hung up on that guy. And I am going to call him right back. For whatever reason, he can't hear me. But I want to get this scheduled.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I hear you better now.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I was just asking, what time would be a good time to call you back tomorrow to schedule a time?
Schedule time. I cannot definitely give you that, my friend.
Okay.
I have to look at my schedule where.
Okay. How about I'll call you back tomorrow morning about 10, 11 o'clock, and we can schedule a time then. How does that sound?
Okay, where your office at?
Right over by the PGA golf course there in West St. Lucie.
Oh, you know St. Louis West?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too far from you then.
No, we're about 5-10 minutes apart.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I really appreciate your time. I thank you, and I'll just give you a jingle tomorrow morning.
All right, send me the email with your the direction to your office. I'll stop by.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yep, bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's a good one. I'm going to take down this data. Remember, too, when you're in RedX, I've got multiple numbers for this guy, right? I want to not call the other numbers. The way to do that is I either have to, the way to do it is you mark it as, it's called good number. And then if you mark it as good number, a blue box shows up at the bottom. You can click on that and it says clear unlocked numbers. So every other number, it will clear and it will not call them, right? Because if you had, like I just had great rapport with that guy, I'm probably going to get an appointment out of that guy. If I call him back 3 seconds later and he picks up, he's going to be like, dude, why do you keep calling me? So I did make that mistake at the beginning. I just want to let you know that so you're not making that mistake down the road. All right, it's probably going to take me 2 minutes to get this all up. Get his address. And here's the deal. What I usually do if I'm not doing a video for you guys is I'm going to send that while it's fresh, the conversation is fresh in my mind. I'm going to send that email and everything, right? But for time purposes, because I don't want to bore you guys, I'm just going to jot down all his information here, and then I will keep going. But yeah, I would send that. I'd update him to constant contact, and then I get back on my calls. So there we go. We got one. So I got all the information. What'd that take? 60 seconds? 120 seconds? Now we're going to keep going. Oh, I hung up on... Okay, so to call him back, I had to hang up through RedX, right? So now I got to call RedX back. It takes me probably 30 seconds to get this sucker going again. So we've had 3 good conversations, and we are at... I got auto calling back because I want to see it's gonna start my calls for the day over on the screen I'm looking at. So I want to see where I'm at so far, so I know how to add that up and tell you where we're at on calls. I want you guys to see how quickly this sucker calls, man. It's awesome. Come on. All right, let's try refreshing it. Sometimes it takes a while for the vortex to update here when I'm looking for my daily numbers. Come on, baby. Here they are. Okay, so we're going to scroll down, and so far we have made 63 calls. Okay, so now we're going to go back, and I'm going to hit dial. We're going to get into the campaign. So we're at 63. So I have to make at least 2 more calls, but I've got an hour yet. I don't know that I'll make this video an hour, but I've got an hour. And I've still got to get 7 more contacts in. I'll probably do another 15 minutes for you guys, see if we can get another appointment here. And then we'll turn it off. You can only watch so much of a big bald-headed dude calling random people, am I right? Okay, so Storm is calling me. Storm is the dialer. I pick it up, turn it on voicemail, make sure my
Press 1 to continue.
volume's all the way up, press 1. It's rolling. It's got 3 numbers in. I hit the go button, and here we go. You know what I'll do? I'll get you guys to 100 calls. That's when we'll stop. Hey, good morning. This is...
Full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
Thought that was a person. All right.
Hello, you've reached the Shuffies. Please leave a message at the tone.
So the reason I didn't say, hey, Bob, hey, Sandy on that last one, I was like, hey, this is Joe and then it cut me off, right, because it was a voicemail. If I don't know the name, like I was way off on that name. I was going to butcher it. I don't even try. Now the conversion rate's a little bit lower if I say, hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams instead of, hey, Bob, hey, this is Joe Rosen. I'm going to get a better conversion rate saying your name, right? For whatever reason, people feel like they got to stay on the phone a little bit longer. But if I'm going to butcher the name, forget the name, man. I just go on to, hey, this is Joe Rosen.
You have reached the voicemail box of 77.
Dude, Vanessa Williams? Is that the Vanessa Williams? All you young cats probably don't even know who I'm talking about. Two-thirds.
You have reached the coffee. Please leave a message. We'll give you a call.
We're 2/3 done, folks. On our journey to 100. This is as exciting as it gets.
You have reached the voicemail box of
We'll leave a voicemail here.
77.
I am glad we got an appointment, though. That's kind of fun to see.
At the tone, please record your voice message. When you are finished recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options.
Miss Leeds, hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Ganbury Street, and there was a home just down the road that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. One thing I really want to push you guys to do too is if you follow Ricky Carruth, it's the real deal, man. Like really thinking about transactions after the relationship. Think about the relationship first. In fact, don't even think about the dang transaction. If you can get it out of your head, you'll do so much better.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Miss Leeds, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. How you doing? I'm actually calling because I see that you're on Southwest Ganbury Street, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it, and have a great day. If you can truly get out of your head that I want to make money, I want to make a commission, I want to close this house, and you can instead think, how do I help Bob, right? Bob's in front of you. Just how do you help Bob? And go all in on that. You'll do so much better long term. I'm telling you. All the objections.
I'll call you back. Leave your number.
At the tone, please record your message.
Sounds like
when
the
you
mob.
finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Savage Boulevard, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. Okay, we are at 71. 29 to go, folks.
Forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Deborah Coburnup is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Miss Cobernaut, hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie, and I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Webster Lane, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday.
Hello?
Hey, Andrea.
Hello?
Andrea. Is this Andrea?
No, this is not Andrea.
Oh, I apologize. I got the wrong number. Are you in Port St. Lucie?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I apologize.
Called twice already.
Okay. All right. Well, I really apologize. Is your other number 0199?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. Man, this person from Baltimore really wants to talk to me. I think they've called me 5 times while I've been calling.
Hi, this is Linda. I'm not available right now. If you'd like to leave me a message, go ahead and do so. Bye.
Linda sounds pleasant. Hey, Linda, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Salmon Road, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great Thursday. Boop. All right. We're at 75. Trucking along. I don't think that thing's buying. Let's keep going. Can't sell the robots. You can try. I've never sold to a robot. But don't let me put up hurdles for you. Sell them. Sell that fax machine.
Hello?
Hey, Miss Jensen.
Hello?
Hey, this is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Almanza Avenue, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with.
No, you can't.
Okay. If you were to do something down the road, is there a realtor you'd use?
I am a realtor.
You're a realtor. Who do you work with, can I ask?
I work out of Daytona.
Daytona, all right. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Not getting far with a realtor. But you never know. I think my odds of selling a realtor are better than selling a fax machine. I am a realtor.
Please leave your message for 601.
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Savage Boulevard, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Boop. I'm getting a lot of callbacks. I've probably got 6 or 7. Of course, half of them for Baltimore, that one number. We're at 82 calls. The journey to 100. When nobody picks up, they rack up quick. All those numbers, the dialer just speeds through. It would take you forever by finger.
Hello?
Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams. How you doing?
I'm actually in the middle of writing an obituary. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
okay.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I'll get right to the point then. I see you're on Crocus Lane, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. I was just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with.
No, we're going to stay here for a while. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you were to do something, is there a realtor you'd use?
I am not really planning on doing anything, so
That makes sense.
never really thought about it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I tell you what, last question. Would you mind if I stayed in touch with you between now and whenever you do decide to do something?
No, we're not going to do anything, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time.
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
Yep.
Yep, bye now.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. What did I want to say there? She wanted to give up on me twice, right? She wanted, no, have a great day, bye. I just keep going. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to hang up on me. So just keep going. You can see after she said she wanted to let me go, and I said, cool, is there a realtor you'd use? She said, no, but we're not going to do anything. Okay, have a great day, bye. And then I thought she was going to hang up. She didn't. I had the opportunity to say, cool, can I stay in touch with you? Again, she said no, and I didn't get the email. But what I'm telling you is if you get in the habit of doing that every single time, and you have that conversation 100 times, maybe 15, 20 of those times, it'll end with a, sure, here's my email. And that's 15, 20 more emails that you've got in your database to leverage your time with over time, right, through constant contact than you would have had otherwise. So just keep pushing forward. Let them say no to you. Let them hang up on you. Just assume it's going to end in a yes every time and make them prove you wrong. All right, what are we at? I got to do math now because I hung up. So we're at 88. We got 12 left. Stay with me, baby. 12 more. We got to get that second appointment.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name.
The heck was that? This can't be entertaining for you guys. It's only entertaining when they pick up. I haven't had any, well, I did have somebody who was entertaining today. Who was it? It was Ralph. Call number 2, baby. $94. We're almost there. $96. $97. We're almost there. And this is the longest I've been on hold for a while. The cool thing about the dialer is it keeps you on the phone all the time. I just said this is the longest I've waited. What's it been? 30 seconds, 60 seconds? If you were doing this by hand.
You have reached the voicemail box of
you'd be on hold forever having to call those 15 numbers that just passed up.
When you are finished recording, you may hang up or press
We'll be at
pound for
99
more
after
options.
this. Hey, good morning. This is Joe Rosen with Keller Williams here in Port St. Lucie. Say, I'm calling because I see you're on Southwest Crocus Lane, and there was a home just a few blocks down that had sold about a week and a half ago. Just calling to see if there's anything I could help you with. Feel free to call me back. Again, it's Joe Rosen with Keller Williams, and the number here is 772-281-7781. I appreciate it, and have a great Thursday. Boop. Okay, we are at 99, so we got to get one more something, voicemail, pickup, whatever, and then we'll call it a day, at least for the video. I got to keep going after this.
You have reached Elite Auto Glass Installers. We are unable to...
All right, there we are. We are at 101, and that is where I'm going to stop with you guys. I appreciate you listening. If there's any piece of advice that I can give either a new, I'm going to say salesman, not just realtor, right, but anybody in sales, or somebody who's plateaued, right? You've been in sales for a while, but you're just not getting what it is you want out of it. I suggest cold calling because I think it's the most efficient way of prospecting. It's the quickest way to get people on the phone. You're in front of them. You have the opportunity to actually get an appointment or get their email address and use Constant Contact to stay in front of them at all time. By the way, if you want to use Constant Contact, you can use the code CT, I don't know how to, CT30, CTCT30, those 6 digits, and it'll give you 30% off for the first 3 months. I think it's only like $45 a month up to 500 email addresses. So let's just say it's 45. That's 135 minus 30% is roughly $40. It's less than $100 to get 90 days of emails out, and you can send a weekly email, man. You can send a daily email if you want. I wouldn't do that, but you can send a weekly email out, and look at all that time you're leveraging, right? If you use RedX to fill that funnel up, Constant Contact being the funnel, it is so helpful. But listen, you got to do something. You have to do something. 87% of realtors fail out. And I'm telling you, when you go back and look at their numbers, it's the people who are not consistently prospecting. You have to prospect. It has to be consistent. It doesn't have to be cold calls. It's just what I like, but it's got to be consistent. If there's ever anything I can do for you guys, certainly reach out and let me know. Otherwise, you guys have a great one. Thanks for listening. And until next time.